Welcome back to the channel. Right, not working today, so I thought I'd dig out one of my new vinyls I've got over the Crimbo period and give it a first play. I've got quite a few to choose from, and I'm working towards my Tom Waits ones because I have 3 that I haven't played yet, and you know that's probably driving me batty. But I decided to go with Prince, Sign of the Times. It's a double album. It's got some great songs on here. I was really lucky enough to see Prince. It was the New Tour, July 1990, when we held it, second from eldest brother, and it was amazing. I think the album at the time was Batman, you know, to go with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton Batman, the Tim Burton movie. Although a lot of people slag off Batman, there is actually some really cool songs on there. The Arms of Orion, etc. You know, lovely, lovely songs. Me seeing him was post Sign of the Times. Now, I think I should mention that Sign of the Times was originally going to be part of a 3-album set that Prince was working on. He had numerous projects going on, and I do believe during this 1987, he was at his absolute most creative. Literally, he was firing out songs and ideas left, right and centre. It must have been a wonderful time. Obviously, this is post... I mean, how I got into Prince was when Doves Cry. I'd heard 1999 and Little Red Corvette and thought they were really cool, but it was when Doves Cry that hooked me and got me into him. That was the first Prince album I bought. Then the follow-up album, Around the World in a Day, then Parade. And I think then this one comes next. I think, anyway, it goes like that. But I do know some of his older stuff, you know, Prince, just the first album, Dirty Mind, Controversy, even the Black Album. You know, I have heard them, but, and I know some post ones as well, like Graffiti Bridge, Love Sexy, Diamond and Pearls, but I don't know them as much as I know Sign of the Times, Parade, Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day. I think they're the 4 that I used to play constantly until I went to Spain, met a hippie dude, and I'd learnt about Pink Floyd. I always loved Prince, but I kind of just stopped listening to his current stuff. So it kind of makes me feel a little bit lucky, because now that he's gone, there's so much Prince music I haven't discovered yet. So be thankful for small mercies, I guess. But I dug out, I mean, it's a shame something had poured on it in my memory box. Prince, Wembley Arena, 1990. Wow. Where does all that time go? So anyway, he was working on a 3 album, and it was going to be called The Dream Factory or something like that, I think. And there was another album he was working on called Camille, which was like he was going through this altered ego type. Weren't quite a woman, weren't quite a man. On some of the songs on here, certainly If I Was Your Girlfriend, and you can hear they've speeded his voice up a little bit. This is the voice of Camille. Housequake as well, you can hear it. And the final one was Crystal Ball. But because I think Parade and certainly Around the World in a Day didn't do as well, I don't know why, they're great albums, and obviously Purple Rain, etc. They was a little bit worried. You know, they thought maybe, is he drying up a little bit? You know, is this a bit too bold because it's expensive to release? You know, will people pay the whatever a triple album was? So anyway, Prince and Warner Brothers finally got to a compromise, and this was released. He cut it back, and we've got the double album Sign of the Times. Something I did find a little bit, it kind of did bother me, which I suppose it happens all the time when you're a music recording artist. But I was watching Prince on Larry King, just sort of get me into the groove of playing Sign of the Times. And Prince said, if he walked up to you and told you that he doesn't own Purple Rain, you know, he doesn't own the music, it's not his. That's crap, isn't it? That's crap. That's owned by Warner Brothers. Now, I understand Warner Brothers is a business. But that's Purple Rain is Prince's. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. Also, with this album, Prince done a concert movie. You know, like Talking Heads, and some of them do. And I actually really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this. This was obviously as well the first album after the breakup with The Revolution. Now, I have mixed feelings about that because the albums I absolutely adore Prince in are with The Revolution, except this one. This is the first one post. And there's something about the sound of that band that is just, it's very Princey. What's that song by Wendy and Lisa? I think it's called Water, is it? I can't remember now. It's just got that Prince feel about the whole song. It really has. And I do believe it's obviously The Revolution, you know. But he's waffling on. Shall we play it? Yeah. So, let's get it out and have a little look at the cover. My usual vinyl sleeves. I get mine from my local record store, which is HMV. I think these ones are kind of good. They're solid and they cover the whole vinyl or the whole record. Anyway, as you can see, it's still sealed. I always like this cover. It's like the aftermath of a gig, and Prince out of focus here is just walking away. And all the drums and the front of the car and all the instruments are just there, and it looks like very over the tops, like Moulin Rouge. Great cover. And then simply on the back, the track listing. Produced, arranged, composed and performed by Prince. No Prince in the Revolution. Anyway, shall we have a look at the record? Now here's a poser for you. Do you keep the sticker? Because I don't think it's actually on the specially priced 2-record set. Do we want the sticker? Will it come off easy? I'll work on that later on and stick it on the front so no cellophane bit. The shock. I always thought this should have been a gatefold sleeve, but like I said, after they weren't very commercial, the prior 2 albums to this, Around the World in a Day and Parade, I don't think Warner Brothers, I mean, they're tight, isn't they? It's all about the buck. This would have been awesome. But, so what we got in here? Oh, we got stuff. We have got stuff. Right, let's have a look. Oh, this is nice. Oh, right, this was the original inner sleeves. They've just put them in there, so they're mint. So the lyrics on one side. And a nice picture of Prince sat by the window there. And then on this side, lyrics, but reversed colour-wise. Orange on black. Or what was that? Pink. Peach. And I think that was the single, certainly Her, to Sign of the Times, the cover, because there was a few singles released from this. So let's have a little look at the record. Just paper, not anti-static. Beautiful label though. Paisley Park, which was eventually, you know, it was a single by Prince from Around the World in a Day, and it eventually became his home and his recording studio. He had his own seamstresses in, because obviously Prince didn't buy Levi jeans and wear hush puppies. All his clothes were handmade. So let's get it out, shall we? Moment of truth. pretty good. A couple of little dust bits on it, but obviously, as you know, I've got my microfiber cloth. Microfiber. Honestly, stripy. Nice 180 gram vinyl. Beautiful. Let's get it on now. Let's give it a little clean up as well, I think. Just a couple of little bits, white spots. Mint. Right, I'm going to delve into this, as always. I'll be back in a little while. Beautiful. Amazing. No wonder critics and fans alike think it's one of his best. It's truly a brilliant album, no doubt about it. Right, before I go into the tracks on it and all that, I just want to apologise for the very short. Normally I'll give you a little bit more of a tease of the music, but when I done my last ramble about Jeff Buckley, I got a copyright strike for Mojo Pin. You know, when I put the record on, that little bit of intro. So I haven't quite figured out what I can get away with yet. So if any of you guys know, please let me know downstairs. It'd be much appreciated, because I used to put these like little hums and free music over it, but I kind of like to use the artist, and it just, for me, it makes it more artistic and a little bit more relevant. But it's weird, isn't it? Some you get away with and some you just don't. So there you go. So I only played a very small amount, so hopefully that'll be alright. Anyway, sounded amazing on record. I had it on record the first time round, and it truly is. I mean, everyone kind of thinks Purple Rain is his masterpiece, and I get that, it kind of is, but I don't know. This is something else. So let's quickly go through the tracks. Right, obviously opens with Sign of the Times, and for Prince, it was always talking about sex and love and getting off and stuff. This was quite political, you know, talking about age. You know, in France, a skinny man died of a big disease with a little name, and soon his girlfriend came across a needle, and soon she did the same. And they talked about, you know, gang violence, and it's truly a brilliant song. And this was the first single, I think, from this. Then it goes into Playing the Sunshine, which is a little bit more upbeat, Purple Rain type Prince, you know. It's all over the place. That sounds great. And then it goes into Housequake. And this is when you hear Camille with that weird little voice. But it's strange at first, but it's kind of really catchy. I mean, really, it's just strange. But, yeah, really like Housequake. And then I think side one finished with The Ballad of Dorothy Parker, which is a brilliant, brilliant song. Very good Prince. And there's so many cool little quips in it and bits. Yeah, I love that song. Then it's It. I think he was thinking about sex all the time. This is a great Prince song, really upbeat. But it's followed by one of my favourites from the album, Starfish and Coffee. And there's a famous little, you can find it on YouTube, he actually did a little stint on the Sesame Street with Kermit the Frog, and he did that, Starfish and Coffee. It's a great song. Very trippy, it's like psychedelic pop music, which is what he was really good at, and it kind of, that would fit really well on Around the World in a Day, because I think that album is very psychedelic pop. You know, Raspberry Beret, Paisley Park, you know. Anyway. Then it goes into a nice raunchy slow love, which was a brilliant ballad, of course. And then Hot Thing, Barely 21. It is great. Yeah, that sounded brilliant. And then Forever in My Life, and that is another ballad. And that one's really, really heartfelt and stripped right back. Yeah, it's a lovely song. Then another single from the album, You Got the Look, with Sheena Easton, who was pretty fine during that time, I've got to say. Kind of like that song. If I Was Your Girlfriend. I know. But it's a brilliant, brilliant song. I'd never ever thought of it from that point of view before, you know. No matter how much they love you, you know, their best mate is their best mate that knows all their dirty little secrets and all their secrets and all their fears and anxieties and all that. They know it all. So, yeah, I'd never thought about that before. Yeah, I really love that. Now, Strange Relationship. Well, this one's actually got quite a bit of history. It goes back to a short piece he was doing called Billy, way back in 1982. Yeah, I know. Really, really good. I'd Never Take the Place of Your Man. Now, this, to me, this and maybe Playing the Sunshine have got reminiscence of Purple Rain on them. When you think of Let's Go Crazy, that electrifying, upbeat. It's hard to sit still to these songs. It literally is. There's something makes you want to go every which way at the same time. I don't know. But I love that song. And basically, he's just telling the women, you know, the grass might look a bit green on the other side, but he's all right for a quick one-off, but you might as well not. Bear with it. The Cross, which is another strip right back song, and that's lovely. It's kind of a little bit of a religious. Obviously, we all know Prince was a great believer in God. And this is actually a really lovely song. Then it lifts up one more time to It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night. And that's just big party going on, you know. All sounds, trumpets, and everyone's woo, clapping, and everyone's getting right into it. And it finishes with Adore. And I do adore that song. I actually adore this album. So yeah, that was a really good final first play. This comes highly recommended by me. Didn't do too well with the sticker. Didn't want to come off. So I wasn't sure anyway, but I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. And if you haven't seen the film, Sign of the Times, well, it's a concert movie, really. Highly, highly recommended. Not only do you see Prince in absolute top form, how you imagine him, you know, it's just so good. You get to see the awesome drummer, Sheila E. With a smoking body. So yeah. So that's it really for today, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I've always loved it. I always will love it. And like I said, I'm yet to discover some Prince albums beyond pretty much Diamonds and Pearls. It's kind of really, and there's so much more. He's got so many albums out there. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe you could suggest to me a couple of Prince albums. I mean, I'm pretty much stuck in that era, the earlier part really, that you think might be worth a definite listen. Shame, really. It really, really is a shame. And when you think about it, Prince, I mean, he was 57-year-old. He looked younger than I do. Well, I'm 51, but, you know, he looked really well. And when you find out it was fentanyl, painkillers, like silly strong ones, were they the ones that done Michael Jackson as well? Who I thought was going to live forever with the oxygen tent and all that lot. Such a shame. I was absolutely gutted in April 2016 when I found out Prince had died. I think it was the 21st. And it made me think of that song from Parade, Sometimes It Snows in April. Yeah. Anyway, before I get too sad about it, highly recommended by me. Thank you very much, beautiful You're the best. It's a present from my wife for Christmas. Can't recommend it enough. It's a fine piece of music. At least he's left that with us. Awesome. Right, that's it for today, guys. I will be back with another ramble real soon. Bye now.